What up, Depth Chart? It's your boy, young broadcaster Jared Young, here on the set of the 2 Point Perspective with my co-host Miles on the mic, Miles Sweeney, for episode 50. And today's
Bang.
episode is brought to you by Highmark Insurance. Going to the game, make sure you're covered, because sometimes the biggest hit of the night comes from the stadium. Highmark Insurance, for when home field advantage fights back.
We're going to talk about that soon.
Yeah, we are going to talk about Highmark Stadium. The Bills just finished building their $2.2 billion stadium, and they already have some issues. But we're not going to get into that just yet. We're going to jump right into the dual threat bet. And the dual threat bet this week, we got the Titans and the Niners. So last week we took a Cardinals bet. We wanted to, that was the Hall of Fame game, Cardinals versus Panthers.
What an electric game, too.
It was a good game. Miles did lose the dual threat bet, so he's already starting off good. We're already on track for Miles to be the new 2027 hobby horsing champion. Now U.S. champion. Excuse me. Sorry, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yes.
If you did win, would you go to like the national? Would you do the whole thing? Speaking as if you've already lost.
Like, if I was advancing that much into it, I'd be like, well, why would I just stop?
You're
Yeah, you gotta
already
keep
a
going.
competitor at that.
Because I feel like I would be seen in that realm as kind of like an Andrew Luck kind of guy, like somebody who just with so much potential and like really
like
good.
a Kurt Warner, where you're like bagging groceries, and then all of a sudden you just
and
like,
I just
fall
step
into
onto it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to. That'd be such a disservice to the fans
Yeah.
if some
agree.
amateur came in and was climbing the ranks and then he just hung it up. He hung up the hobby horse, and
Can't hang up the horse.
no, if you're like on a run, you got to go all the way.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
you gotta
at least
send
you got to try. So like if we're putting in all that effort and like doing all that and I'm advancing, yeah, I would try to go.
Okay. All
I
right.
think the other thing you have to consider is there more money in professional hobby horsing than there is working at a gym?
Oh, I don't know. That's a pretty lucrative job over there.
Yeah.
So like if you found a new talent, I would almost be like upset if you didn't pursue it.
Well, yeah, like I said, if I was like actually good at it and I was doing it, I would try to go for it and win the natty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Even if I did win the natty, I wouldn't do it again.
You wouldn't go to Worlds?
If there were worlds and I qualified, I would go.
You'd have
Yeah.
to. Yeah, you'd have
But
to.
like just in terms of like a domestic tournament here in the United States again, I wouldn't
Can you
go.
imagine you're just out there shredding little girls
Whoa.
in hobby horsing? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Clarify.
Get your fucking minds out of the gutters. I was talking about hobby horsing. All right. Let's straighten up here. All right, boys.
Who cares? This is a all age inclusive event.
Yeah.
It's a
So
sport.
if there were little kids there, I'd be like, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they're not going to be little kids. It'd be like 15-year-olds.
I would love to see
probably are.
Miles out there on a hobby horse, like throwing elbows.
Oh my god, dude!
knocking
He's
people
just
down.
we
Yeah.
just go to the event. He's like bullying the other.
it's kind of like
Shoving us in the
there.
lockers.
like that scene in The Grinch with Jim Carrey, and he's like doing the hacky, not the hacky sack, but the sack race, and he's just shoving everyone out of the
pushing
way.
them out of the way.
Yeah.
just like that.
Oh my god. You could
hey,
take it to
man.
another level. You could really bring hobby horsing into the 21st century.
This is a grown adult sport here.
Right?
Kids, go do your homework because
Yeah. Get out of the way because Miles is coming.
yeah.
He's coming with
Yeah.
his one dual threat bet loss.
But yeah, to finalize that, if I was good at it and I had a chance to win it, I would go. Yeah, I would try.
I think you should.
And I think you would too.
I don't know if I have the legs for it, Miles.
But if
you're a gazelle. You're a gazelle.
I am. I
can't
am.
compete. Yeah, I can't
But-
compete with that.
Assuming you were like winning and continuing to climb the ranks, you would try to go for it
Oh
too.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Especially if there's like a monetary thing. If there was like a monetary value, 100% I would.
We need to look into that. Like, what
I'll
is
look into it right now. Actually,
is there a monetary winning? Because
what's the name of it's the National Hobby
The
Horsing?
U.S. Hobby Horsing Championship.
USHHC. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. USHHC, I think so too. Yeah, is there a monetary prize?
Okay, so from what I can tell, they don't specify a cash prize pool. Winners at championships are typically awarded traditional prizes such as ribbons, trophies, and event merchandise. So you could get a nice ribbon.
Okay. All right. Custom hobby horse.
Maybe you could sell that ribbon for like $10.
Right. Yeah.
That'll
that would
cut
be
your
your
flight
entry fee
prices.
for Worlds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't have euros on me, but you want to take this ribbon? It's priceless.
All right. Well, let's move into the dual threat bet. So,
Okay.
Miles, it is time. Call it in the air.
Okay.
Here we go.
Tails.
It was heads.
Okay, good. I really did
my
not
pull
want to
this
draw
week.
this week. After last week,
Yeah, that was a
where
tough
Trey
one.
Benson
That was a tough
shafted
one.
me, didn't even play. But Carson
Yeah,
Beck played.
You had Trey Benson plus 1 TD.
Yeah.
All right.
Carson Beck played, and I'm convinced that guy can like walk on water. He played really well.
Oh, Curtis Rourke plus 110.5 passing yards.
Okay.
So Rourke
Yeah.
is he's the third stringer right now for the 49ers behind Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been taking some second string snaps. Mac Jones
Yeah.
was struggling early on in camp. I think they're straightened out now.
Yeah.
But he's taken some second string snaps, and I haven't heard much about him, but hopefully he gets to play a good majority of that game. I mean, they already know what they have in Brock and Mac, and they don't need to put him out there. So I think we're going to see a lot of him. So that could work out for me. That could work out for me.
Yeah, Shanahan will draw up something. He could have 110 by the first half.
Right.
You know.
Well, I don't think he'll probably play most of the second half is what I would assume.
So you think Mac Jones is going to play for the first half?
I mean,
or at least a couple drives?
I bet that maybe Brock gets like a drive,
Mhm.
and then I bet Mac will take probably like the rest of the first quarter, maybe a little bit into the second, and then they'll go with Rourke.
It's all Rourke after
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I still think he could get that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because there's nobody. Who
Well,
are they going to bench him for if
and
he's
they're-
playing bad? You
They're
know.
gonna want to get these wide receivers, these young wide receivers, going.
Yeah.
You know, they need to get them some playing time and stuff. So I think that they're gonna be throwing the ball a lot. I also know though they're gonna want to get Black involved, and that should take up some of that volume.
Oh yeah, and we had a Kalen Black bet in there as well. So.
I was kind of hoping to get that one actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, on from the dual threat bet, we're gonna move into our roster shakeup. So Miles, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, so we alluded to this last week after the Bijan signing that Jahmyr Gibbs was going to be next, and evidently he was.
Like the next day.
Yeah, the next day. Yeah, so that was the push he needed to sign a 3-year, $65.5 million extension that could be worth up to $75 million. So $8 million in incentives, and it didn't quite hit the mark of $100 million like we talked about last week. That would have been insane.
That's not gonna happen.
He stayed consistent with the market.
Yeah, they got a few years before they start hitting 100 million, I think, for running backs.
But that is well deserved.
I think it's a good contract. You're like you said, it's well deserved. As long as he stays healthy, he's going to be worth that money. So
yeah, because they're 1A and 1B in this league of the upper echelon of running backs.
Right. For sure.
So he to stay consistent with that deal.
Gibbs
Yeah, it
maybe
makes
a
all
little bit
the
closer
sense
to
in the world.
B.
I would lean towards Bijan for sure.
Yeah.
Because and this isn't a slight against Gibbs, but we're gonna finally see who he is without Montgomery behind him.
Right.
You know, so he was always RB1 there, but he
got a lot of rest time.
He
so
did.
We're going to see how much of this volume he can actually handal.
Right. So, Jared, who do you have?
Yeah, so we had another running back signing. Jonathan Taylor signed a 2-year, $44 million, $39 guaranteed. Again, another guy who I think deserves the money, deserves the bag. He is getting a little bit older, which is why his contract is obviously, he's not going to be garnering that 3-year, $67 million or $65 million.
Right.
But I still think, $22 million a year. I think that's
respectable.
That is respectable, absolutely. Yeah, it still puts him above some other running backs who I think are a little bit better. But Jonathan Taylor's a great back. I think he's going to carry this offense this season. And I think that the 2-year contract is smart by the Colts, especially with the injury issues that he's faced. And if he stays healthy, he's going to earn every bit of that 20
Absolutely.
a year.
Yeah, because that was the biggest red flag is the injury history.
Right.
He had a great rookie season, some stumbles in the middle, and then last year he was great.
Right.
So it's just a matter of staying healthy because when he is, he's productive. Now, speaking of productive, and I do have a question for you on this, but Nick Bosa is now listed as day-to-day.
Yes.
So coming off that, it was ACL tear, correct? His third one, I believe, since playing in college. How productive do you think he's going to be this year?
I don't know. They're saying that it's knee tendonitis. That's tough, right? Because could it be a Christian McCaffrey thing where they're like, oh, yeah, it's not a big deal, but then it is, And speaking of CMC has also been out of practice recently. Yeah. He's had some hamstring tightness. So both of these guys have missed time now here in training camp, and this is it's not looking good over there for the 40 IRs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Blame the substation. But I'm really curious about Bosa because, like I said, 3 ACL tears.
Right.
So that means 2 in one leg has already occurred.
Well, and I'm nervous about this. I don't know what this means. It could just be a result of taking the time off, right, and having to do the rehab and maybe not being as physical as he normally is used to, and then coming back and just putting a lot of strain on. Maybe he overdid it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the answer is. Nick Bosa is a guy that when he's on the field, he's unstoppable. But
you got a game plan for him.
He has had a lot of injury concerns, and we've seen this over the years. So,
if you had to give an over/under of how many sacks he has, I would say 8.5.
I think a better number would be how many games is he going to play this season?
Because that's all it.
Right, because that's what it's going to come down to. And off the top of my head, I would say he'd be lucky if he gets 10 games.
Okay.
So
yeah,
just over 50%.
Okay. Yeah, but he's now day-to-day, so we'll see what's his availability going to be come week 1. Will he start on PUP?
I don't think he's going to start the season.
You think he'll be on PUP? So he'll miss at least the first 4 games, which honestly, I could
be wrong about this, but that's where my mind is going right now.
Yeah. The Niners are in a precarious spot where you kind of have to be safe rather than sorry.
I was going to say they owe him a lot of money.
Yeah.
They don't need to rush him out there, I don't know. We'll see. But they are playing the Rams first game of the season and
in Australia.
This came out today, but Puka Nacua may not play in that game due to his legal problems. So he may be facing suspension by the NFL. So we're going to see what shakes out there. I don't have any more details than that. Miles, if you have anything else.
I mean, that dude as a kid definitely was a biter, and I don't think he ever quit that habit. But yeah, that's something that
we should have got a picture of the bite mark.
It was literally gnarly. Like a perfect circle.
It is gnarly.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
And I think his defense was like, it was consensual. John's looking up the bite mark. And that it was just a part of some horseplay or obviously.
I don't know, man. That it does not look like horseplay.
No, that was he was trying to take a bite of an apple out of that. He put his teeth into that for sure. But that also affects fantasy.
Right.
Are you, because he is very touted in that first round.
Well, he's probably the number 2 running back or wide receiver
behind Jamar Chase.
Yeah. And at this point in time, I wouldn't. Yeah. See, look at that. That's not. I'm sorry, you're not playing around. That's gross.
Insane.
It's gross, really.
It almost kind of looks like the top teeth marks or the side of his teeth.
Right.
It's so bizarre.
Trying to decide how. I mean, God, look at the imprint. I mean, it's perfect. They could mold that.
Yeah.
You could get veneers from that.
Yeah.
My God.
Well, if he ever needs a retainer, then there's his mold right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Orthodontists, keep this image saved.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
But yeah, that's going to affect, because if he's going to get suspended for the first 4 to 6 games, keep that in mind in your fantasy draft because
Yeah, that's a risk I wouldn't be willing to take. I don't think.
yeah,
At any other time maybe, but he's had off the field issues along with this. He's starting to become a locker room distraction. I can really start to see that this could start to affect, even if he does come back, this could really start to affect his play
and his contract extension,
right?
Because he hasn't signed a new deal.
And
so what is that going to look like?
I think what I could see, and it would be tough for the Rams to do this, but I could almost see the Rams trading him and trying to get value before that contract is up.
Right.
So
yeah, because
they'd save on the bag, be able to pay some other guys. Obviously, Puka Nacua is a big piece in that offense. But if he is unavailable because of his own doing, or there's some other issues there in the locker room, I just don't know what his future holds. So
no,
and
it's up in the air.
If the Rams were smart, I don't think that they would sign him to a big extension. It's just going to depend how the rest of the season shakes out in terms of it.
Because I think he'll be productive when he comes back.
Right.
But it's going to be a matter of the off-the-field issues.
Right.
Can he stay clean, stay out of headlines?
Well, and I think he could be productive, but who's to say how those distractions start to affect somebody's mental health and those kind of things can start to affect play.
Right.
I'm not worried about his physical ability. He's obviously got all the physical ability in the world. So.
Yeah.
Next, who do you got next on the list, Miles?
Next up, I have Kyler Murray being named the starter in Minnesota. And I wasn't shocked by this. Were you shocked by this?
No, I don't think so at all. It was time for 9 to take a seat.
Because the only edge that J.J. McCarthy had was the experience of being in that offense and having, if you want to call it, a rapport with the receivers, And Kyler comes in. He's a clean slate. He's coming in raw, and he's
doing what raw?
We're all over the place here.
What's this wee shit?
Just disregard that. I'm sorry. You know what I mean. He's coming in, doesn't know the playbook. He's never played with any of these guys, and he just rips the job right out from under McCarthy. And like I said, I don't think a lot of people were surprised by that. Now, will it lead to my late round gem of last week's episode, where he could be a late round gem in this fantasy's draft?
I think that this is a good push in that direction, right? He's got good weapons. He's got Juwan Jennings, right? Obviously, he's got JJ over there too. So there's some big weapons, and if Jordan Addison ever gets it figured out, then he'll have Jordan Addison as well. TJ Hawkinson, right?
Yeah.
So he's got a good supporting cast around him. If he can just see over the offensive line, I think he might be okay.
Maybe he grew overnight. Maybe the cold air in Minnesota extended his bones. The biggest thing is staying.
I don't know if that is going to be the thing. Cold normally causes shrinkage, so maybe
that is true.
Maybe it'll get a little bit shorter, if anything.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Right.
It's all going to depend on him being healthy.
Right.
He's only had one full healthy season.
It could also depend on if he has to face this guy, because the Cowboys defensive lineman Quinnen Williams reportedly agrees to a 3-year, $105.9 million extension. The Cowboys have had obviously some issues on their defensive line. This is a guy that's been very productive for them.
Yes.
And again, just another guy that I think really deserves the bag. I think this is expensive.
Yes.
This is not a cheap contract. Again, a lot of this worth is going to depend on him staying healthy, but this is a guy that has stayed healthy, so he hasn't had a lot of issues. I think that it's a good signing for the Cowboys.
Elite defensive linemen do not grow on trees.
Right.
So when you have one like that, they trade away Micah, and they immediately flipped those picks for guys like Quinnen Williams. And
I'm sure he was happy to get out of.
Oh yeah, New York. Yeah, of course he was. So that's an obvious retainment of an elite player on a defense that was atrocious last year. So they've revamped that, and he is the wrecking ball on that defensive line.
Yeah.
So of course you'd want to keep him, especially after departing Micah. Like, you need somebody elite up there to carry the slack that Micah Parsons has left, So that's a good signing. And unlike same draft class with him and Nick Bosa, it was 2019. He's stayed healthy. This is his second extension, I believe. It has to be a second extension. So, he's been elite for a long time, and Dallas has their guy. They're keeping him.
Right on. Well, we're going to move on from our roster shakeup into the Hall of Shame.
Yes.
Another segment we have not done in a little while. And we're going to talk about what our sponsor was about.
Yeah.
The Bills' brand new Highmark Stadium.
Yes.
A $2.2 billion investment from the Bills, and it was time. It was time. Their stadium was falling apart.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they didn't decide to do a dome with the weather that they have. But I know that they like to use that to their advantage.
Yeah.
But
I think the fans would have been pissed.
You think so?
Yes. They love it. Dude, Buffalo, those people are insane.
Yeah.
They love their snow games.
Sure, you have to be insane to live in Buffalo.
Yeah, they love their snow games, and it's like, I mean, it's so fun to watch, too. So,
I like to watch snow games from the comfort of my nice warm home.
Yes, yeah, and your little blankie and hot chocolate. But, yeah, I mean, that's just such a hallmark of Buffalo football.
Absolutely.
Is the snow game. So I'm not surprised they didn't put a dome over it, but there were other issues that they clearly didn't have in mind.
Yeah, so let's kick this off with the stadium tour. So the Bills put out a video of a drone doing a full view of the stadium, and it's a pretty sweet stadium, right?
It is nice.
It's cool to see a nice new stadium, and then we'll talk about why it's been so controversial lately. So John, if you can roll the clip. I mean, it's dope.
It's very nice.
The seats are cool. It's massive.
And how many does this seat? Like 70,000?
Yeah, just under 70,000, I think. I think it's like around 68,000. I'll have to double check on that. Nice.
Great interior. That's pretty cool.
I assume these are VIP areas.
Oh, of course, yeah.
The VIP area is sick.
Yeah. I'm sure the owner's box is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is this locker room? Oh, nice. Oh, they got a little practice facility inside.
That's pretty cool, too.
That's pretty cool, yeah. I haven't watched this video to, completely, so. It's a huge stadium, and it's funny, it's right next to their old stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty nice. Looks pretty nice from this view.
Like, you can tell that's a $2.2 billion stadium.
Yeah, absolutely.
That money should not reflect some of the issues that they have.
Yeah, and so the issues that people are noticing with the stadium as they have been invited to go through and check it out is they were checking out some of the seats. And in some of these seats, we're going to show you guys a video, there are quite a few blind spots. And I can't imagine that a brand new stadium like that, typically when a team gets a new stadium, those tickets tend to be $500 plus, right, for a seat. Can you imagine paying $500 plus for a seat and not being able to see the game, Miles?
No, of course not.
Can you imagine that being the case? And for a few fans who were able to go inside and check things out, that was what they were seeing. There are blind spots all over the stadium from specific seats. And so the infrastructure is not great, really, when it comes to this. So, yeah, let's roll this clip. It reminds me of that insurance commercial. Was it a Liberty Mutual commercial where the guy's like sitting behind the pole?
Yeah, yeah. That's literally what it is.
Yeah. Oh, that one.
That one's
I would be
disgraceful.
livid. Even this.
That one's this one is like actually insane. This one too.
Yeah, you're like right up against a wall. That's
Mhm.
terrible.
Yeah, and like
mean,
I'm
that-
sure
And this one's like, it's not
it's
the worst. I'd still be pissed, but
there are some of them where you could just be like, well, just stand up.
right.
And it's like, yeah, like
But,
if
like,
you're at
are
a
you gonna-
football
are you
game, you're
gonna
gonna be standing up for
At
a
certain
decent amount of time.
points, but like,
But there are seats for a reason.
right.
You know, you'd want to be able to sit down and enjoy your experience. But yeah, it's
I wonder if they're gonna take care of this. I mean, have
So-
we seen a statement from the Bills?
yes. And I have this statement here. So, quote, Saturday's practice was a great opportunity to test the new stadium. We are currently addressing internal and external feedback regarding the facility's operation following the first event. We'll utilize the next 6 weeks to refine any details as we prepare for the home opener on Thursday, September 17th. So at least they're aware of it and they're going to try to correct it. But it is just insane to me that, you know, with that kind of investment,
Right.
and I'm sure like you're having some of the highest level elite infrastructure people and engineers and designers coming in to build this stadium for you, and just little things like that go unnoticed.
Imagine if you were like a season ticket holder and you
Yeah.
got one of those seats
Yeah.
or something like that. Oh, my
Horrible.
God, I'd be furious.
Oh yeah.
Furious all
Mhm.
season long. You got to watch the game from that seat.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's just it shouldn't, like, that's such a avoidable issue.
Totally. Yeah.
And you know, I understand that like this is one of the biggest stadium constructions in the modern era for the NFL.
Right.
So at least like if you're an NFL team and you're looking like Chicago, they're moving,
Mhm.
they're going to have to build a brand new stadium, learn from that, you know, cuz
The Indiana Bears.
yeah, because that should not be an issue when a big part of your revenue is the fans and those ticket sales, and you're going to be serving them a product like that where, oh, you know, sorry, you're going to have to look past this ventilation system, or, you know, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. All right. Well, let's move on from the blundering Bills
Yes.
and into fantasy. So
Uh-huh.
Miles and I it's our first time ever. We're going to do a dynasty league this season. I'm really excited. I've never done a dynasty league. And so we've been doing lots of research on how we should be building out our league and the draft. And
Mhm.
we're even, the league is going to meet collectively to talk about rules and different things like that. So we're putting a lot of effort into this. And so, yeah, John, you got to.
Just real quick, I'm having a pretty severe delay issue, so I'm just gonna restart the stream in the OBS. So just give me just 2 seconds to do that. If anybody's watching live, wait a few seconds after the stream goes out, and then just hit a refresh, and I'll let you guys know when we're good.
And we'll see you in a minute. Deuce is like a little pissed off at Reno right now. Maybe he went to the Calneva and lost some doubloons.
Reno
And-
is burning to the ground. as
It
we
is
speak.
burning to the ground.
Yeah.
Hopefully the rain is in that area, in the Lemon Valley area.
Give me just one moment of silence. Okay, we're back.
All right, and we are back. John, can we get the screen up on our end?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, John Father.
So before we had some technical difficulties, we were discussing. Oh, we got game up already. So
no,
this is
no.
actually our next segment, but
That's not.
yeah,
John's very excited.
John
He's
is
very
he's
excited.
really excited for our next
You
segment.
guys saw the preview screen. Yeah.
Mhm.
So don't worry about that.
So Miles and I are doing our dynasty league. If you guys don't
Yeah.
know what a dynasty league is, it's a league where you are drafting a team that is going to you're going to continue to have the same team year after year after year. So when you go to make trades, you're trading for picks, right? Sometimes your team is they're too old, right? You're going to get to a point where you're going to have to go into a full rebuild.
Right.
And so you're going to be drafting and trading for the future. So sometimes you are gonna want to tank your season. It's just a little bit different than normal fantasy football. You are kind of running like almost a franchise in that way. And
Yeah,
so
quite literally the GM.
yeah, for real. And so I'm pretty excited about this. I've always wanted to do one, and so Miles and I have some do's and don'ts for you for
Yes.
your dynasty league. So Miles, why don't you kick us off with your first do?
Okay. Do draft players who have trade value. Now,
Okay.
like you alluded to, this isn't a normal fantasy where you just try to draft the best guys with the highest value, and by next year, you're just a clean slate.
Right.
You're going to keep building this team. You are the general manager. So even if you don't love a player, you got to ask yourself, if this guy hits, will the rest of the league want him?
Right.
You know, so if he's young and he's productive, he has a good opportunity, and he's obviously playing well, and he's in an elite system, or at least with a good organization, that's going to maintain his value to where you could flip him and regain on your investment for him. So, and then you can in turn use those picks or get another player in return that you would need, and continue to churn out your roster to try to make it as good as possible.
Very nice. So if you're first starting out, if this is your first season doing a dynasty league, do draft a quarterback first. I know typically in fantasy football, you're going to want to draft a running back or a wide receiver first, but you are building a franchise. You're building for the future, and every franchise in modern day sports has to have a captain.
Yeah.
And your quarterback is the captain of your team. That's the guy that's going to be running things year in and year out. And so take that quarterback first. Don't be afraid to do that.
Yes. Don't be slumming it up with a guy like Geno Smith or Kenny Pickett.
Right.
Unless you want to,
that's a lifelong mistake.
unless you want to tank.
So something I'm really excited about in our league this season is that we also have a super flex spot.
Yes. Can you
So-
explain that to the people who don't know?
So that's just it's like a regular flex, except you can also put a quarterback in that spot as well.
Yeah.
So quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Yeah, you got plenty of options there. That is exciting.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
I'm
100%
I'm excited for that too.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely going to limit the amount of quarterbacks that are going to be out there. I think
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to get taken up quick. So
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a whole different strategy
mhm.
because you
we're
don't.
going to have to change everything.
Yeah, because you don't want to draft like it's a redraft. You don't want to think like who scores the most points this year.
Mhm.
Again, leaning into the normal fantasy side of things to where who's going to give you the most value in the next 3 to 5 years.
Right.
You know, so a guy like, you know, Jeremiah Love, just off the dome. He could have like
Where'd
a
you pull that one from, Miles?
you know, I don't know. I feel the love in the air. He could have like a very average rookie season, but he's going to have that value and that you know, age factor where he's young,
Mhm.
initially coming into the league, to where he's going to give you that value in the future if he pans out, opposed to drafting a guy like Saquon or Derrick Henry, to where they're older. Yeah, they could be serviceable now, but you're going to have to look for a replacement in the next coming years anyway.
Right.
You know, so
It's a great take. All right. Don't hoard draft picks forever. That is your currency. You know, trade them, use them, whatever, but don't hang on to them for forever, right? Utilize that to help with your rebuild, get new players
Yeah.
onto your team, into your system. That's where a lot of your value is going to lie. So don't be afraid to trade them away if you need to.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't always have to, like with the draft, you don't have to stick and pick.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to live in the bed you make with some of these guys you've taken, or you know, if you see somebody who you know is going to be valuable, go get him. I like that one. Do prioritize wide receiver heavily,
Mm-hmm.
because these guys, unlike running backs, have longer careers. They have good trade value too.
Yes.
They can produce in multiple avenues, facets, and they're also just going to be easier to move in trades. So a guy who's 24 with a big season can become a huge asset, opposed to a guy like Mike Evans, you know, who would still be like a good spot to have on your team. But you know, again, you're going to be investing in the future, investing in younger assets, because these are the guys that are going to stick around longer.
Right, for sure. All right. do sell aging veterans a year early. Get the value for them while you can. A guy like Christian McCaffrey, for example, he is getting up there in years, right? He may have maybe one more good season in the tank. Maybe this is the year to sell him.
Right.
At the end of this season, if you can get some good value for him still, or even halfway through, that could be the difference between missing out on potentially a younger player, new draft pick, whatever you need, a young wide receiver.
Right.
So if this is your guy, might be time to look at selling. And the same thing I would say for a lot of tight ends out there too. They're starting to age, and we're starting to see a new age of tight ends come in. Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
It might be time to take a look at moving on from some of those tight ends.
Yes, I'm sorry you got to break up with Travis Kelce, but it's time. Besides, he's married now.
I don't even think he's got any trade value at this point.
No. Yeah. Speaking of trades, don't be afraid to trade during the draft. And obviously, this might just be up to like the commissioner and the league settings if you're able to do it. But this is such a pivotal strategy that you will never have during a normal fantasy draft, because you just stick and pick. You're stuck where you are.
Well, if your guy's not there, take the opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. And if somebody really wants your pick, you got to make them pay. You should not be selling your pick for 50 cents on the dollar, trying to make out a little deal. Like, this is your franchise right now. So you got to get what's owed to you. You got to make it worth it. And so if, I was just talking to Jared today. I'm picking 7th and you're picking 4th. So
Miles was already trying to swindle me.
Yeah, like, for jokes, for shits and gigs. But like, when I threw out, like, I'll give you my 7th and I'll give you a 4th round pick, nobody in their right mind is going to take that deal, because that'd be such a robbery. I'd have to give you 2027's first round pick.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. That's something that you're not going to have in a normal fantasy draft that you can capitalize on.
Absolutely. All right. Don't ignore running back shelf life. Running backs, obviously, like Miles was saying, they don't hold the same value as wide receivers. They're super injury prone. I would say, at this rate right now, you could probably have one guy who maybe has 3 years where he's a top 5. Beyond that, so, there are guys out there that can beat those allegations. I'm not saying that they can't, but it does get super tough to judge whether or not they're going to continue to stay healthy.
Right. Yeah.
And they take the biggest hits, right? They're taking the hits down there in the box. So
not everyone's going to be a Saquon, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey,
right?
Where you can hold on to those guys for 5+ years.
Now we're going to move on from our fantasy specific segment, and we're going to hop into just a little bit of a game. This is and it's called Fantasy Hype Draft Simulator. Thank you, Fantasy Hype, for the link. And this is not going to be for this is not going to be for Dynasty, but Miles and I each are going to run through a quick draft, and I'm just curious to see where you end up and how you pick. So we're going to try to move quick.
And this one doesn't have like a record thing at the end where, like, oh, your team's going to go 10-7 or whatever.
I don't know.
Okay, we'll find out.
I think so, but we're going to find out. Yeah, I didn't get to go through it. So go ahead, John. Let's start us off.
Okay, Jared, you are pick 6.
You want me to go first?
Yeah,
okay.
you go first.
John, can you scroll down a little bit so we can see the players? Sorry. Yeah, there we go. So first up on that list, let's see. Christian McCaffrey's already dealing with some tightness. Scroll down a little bit more, John. Let's see. Let's go with fuck it, man. Let's go with CMC.
Okay.
It's a risk, but we're gonna run it.
Okay. Now at the turn.
Let's see. At
round
the turn, scroll down.
Your top picks are George Pickens, Rashee Rice, and Saquon Barkley.
Let's go with Saquon.
Yeah, because that way now you have the luxury of having your backs set.
All right, we got
Josh Allen.
Dude, Josh Allen is available. I'm gonna snag him.
That dude is a fantasy god.
Yeah, it's too. I normally would have gone with wide receiver, but that is just too juicy to miss out on. John, can you click on at the top? No, at the yeah, wide receiver, please. Thank you. Scary Terry. There's Ladd. I don't think Ladd is just not a guy that I like that much. But you know who I do like is DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore is going to have a really good season.
And that way you double up with him and Allen.
Yes. So let's go with DJ Moore. Let's see. I want to take another wide receiver. Let's go with old reliable in Davante Adams.
Good red zone guy.
Yeah. All right, we're looking at tight end here. Kyle Pitts is available, and so is George Kittle. But George Kittle is coming off injury. Niners are pretty depleted, though, at the wide receiver spot. I think I'm going to go with George. We're going to be a homer here.
Now, something to consider with that is now you have two sets of players with the same bye week.
Yes,
on your starting roster.
That is true. That is true. So that is something I'm going to have to take into consideration. Go back to all, if you would, John. And I think I'm going to go with another running back here. I want to. Oh, but Brian Thomas is available too. Let's look at running backs. Let's see who's there. Chuba Hubbard might not be a bad one. Ramondre Stevenson could have a little bit of a breakout this season. Scroll back up. If I don't do this, I could screw myself. But Tony Pollard did not have a great season last year. He really let me down at times. I think that I'm going to go with... Ramondre Stevenson. I think I'm going to risk it.
Okay.
Next,
so we got to fill your
flex
flex
for me. Yeah, that'll fill my flex spot. Let me see. I really like Alec Pierce. Jordan Tyson is a rookie this season. That could also be good. I think... You know what? Let's go with Jordan Tyson. I like the idea of taking a risk here at this spot. I already have a quarterback. Let's look at running backs again.
Blake Corum,
yeah. Let's go with Jakrosky Merritt. I think that could work out if he ends up getting a lot of snaps over there in Washington. Let's hit wide receivers. Matthew Golden did not have a very good season last year. Stephon Diggs could be okay in Washington.
I see your guy.
Trouble.
There's somebody there that you like.
He is available. What round is this? I'm curious. Just
we're in
round 10. Yep, round 10. He's down there falling to me. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go with Romeo Doubs. Oh. Yeah, Romeo Doubs, because I already have two Bills players. I don't want to go with Shakir. I do like Khalil Shakir. If I hadn't doubled up, I probably would have gone that direction. Let's see. Matthew Stafford. Let's go back to running backs. Tyler Algier might not be the worst. Isaiah Pacheco could get some good goal line runs as well. Let's go with Isaiah Pacheco. He's gonna be taking over that David Montgomery spot, I think. Wide receivers. Matthew Golden is still there, huh? Casey Conception had a pretty bad injury a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he got thrown a hospital ball.
Yeah, he did. You know what? Let's go with Matthew Golden. Let's see. Maybe
a breakout.
Yeah, maybe he does all right. Let me see. What is my roster looking like? Can you scroll down a little bit on the side there? I need a kicker, a defense, and I've got one more bench spot left. So let's go to defense. And I'll take the LA Rams, please. Let's secure us a good kicker here. And
Brandon Aubrey is off the board.
that's okay. I'll take Santos. And finally, let's take a look at running back real quick. Tyler Allgeier's still there. Let's take a look at wide receiver just to see who's still available. Oh, Debo, baby. Let's go.
That's good value. Oh my
Yes,
God.
it is. Yes, it is. All right, and I got a B+.
Okay.
So I have an A in running back, a C in wide receiver. I never really trust these. An A at quarterback. What does it say? My biggest reach, Debo Samuel.
Biggest reach, Debo Samuel in the last round.
This must not be updated because I don't think they know that he's the only wide receiver that's
Yeah.
healthy on the 49ers roster right now.
But I'm glad that they give some sort of like metric to see like where you stand, and then when I do my draft right now to see where I stand.
All right, you ready, Miles?
Now, can you explain why you didn't want to get another quarterback?
The reason why I didn't feel the need to get another quarterback is because I know that Josh Allen is pretty consistently healthy. I got really good value there. I also really like to deepen my bench, and there's typically a lot of really decent quarterbacks hanging out that
the waivers.
that can be plugged and played at any time really. And if I need 20 points that week, I'm sure that I can pull a guy. I've never had an issue there. So that's never been my biggest struggle is like, oh man, I don't have a quarterback. It's normally that I have too many quarterbacks available and I don't know which one that I need to pick up for my flex week. Or for my bye week. So yeah, pretty comfortable there.
Okay. All right. John, start us off. Okay. And we do have the same pick. Okay. Let's scroll down. Let's see. Now, it's the same exact lineup. Well, like maybe it's changed a little bit, but the same players are available this time for you with Christian McCaffrey, Amon-Ra, and Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor here.
Okay.
I don't mind him at pick 6 just because taking a running back that early is just so important because it becomes slim pickings. Speaking of Pickens, George Pickens is on the board. Can we go to the running backs, John Father?
Marion Hampton.
Jeremiah Love. And then can we go to the wide receivers, please? Okay. George Pickens was a monster last year.
Yes, he was.
And he's playing alongside CeeDee Lamb. So that can always be a little bit of a double-edged sword. But I'm going to take George Pickens here because I still think I could get a quality running back this round.
Especially if CD ends up having injury issues.
Exactly, like he did last year where he screwed me. I
know you love Breece Hall.
I don't. Not after last year. Kyron's not terrible. I mean, because they were one of the best rushing teams in the league. I believe they were top 5. John, can you scroll back up to like all the picks before? Because I want to see Jeremiah Love went. Because I'm thinking I don't see Bucky Irving on there. So I'm thinking that I could still snag him or Quinshon Judkins in the next round. Can we go to the wide receivers, please? Zay Flowers just got that new deal. Garrett Wilson. Egbuka's not terrible. Can we go to the tight ends?
Egbuka had some nice highlights today in camp.
Yeah, and no Mike Evans anymore. Chris Godwin's injury prone. I'm not going to reach on Colston Loveland here, but if Tyler Warren is available next round, I might get a little confused. Sorry, this is taking a while. Ooh. I'm going to wait for Dak Prescott. Let's go to the running backs again. I'm sorry. Wide receivers. And we'll go Zay Flowers. He's wide receiver 1 there.
All right, your third pick was your longest one.
I know. I'm sorry. I do apologize. Jalen Waddle is very intriguing. Tyler Tyler Warren.
Always scat.
Let's go to the running backs again, please.
Scat,
gonna-
man.
I do love me some scat.
There's Buck.
Yeah, I'm going to take Bucky Irving here. And let's look at the tight ends here. Tucker Kraft, he had a good year last year.
Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta is the one I always keep my eye on because Drew Petzing loves his tight ends. Let's go to the quarterbacks. Where is Dak Prescott? Jalen Hurts is interesting because he has the rushing upside, the tush push goal line. You know you're going to get a touchdown there.
But teams are also getting better at stopping that.
That is true. And there was no rule implemented to get rid of
hey,
that.
look, Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. You know, Brock, you know how I feel about you. You know what? I'm going to take Caleb Williams here. I still think there's the volume of the pass game and the rushing upside between a guy like Dak and Jalen Hurts. Tight end. Ooh, mama. I will go Kyle Pitts here. Kevin Stefanski style offense. I think he's going to continue this year. Let's go back to the running backs here. Blech. I do need a flex, and I kind of don't want it to be a wide receiver, but we'll look at them anyway. Wide receivers.
BTJ, DK.
Oh, man. Brian Thomas scares me because he has had such a fall from grace.
I think he's coming back. I think he has a comeback soon.
That wouldn't surprise me. Can you scroll down a little bit? I want to see who's still available here. Because I didn't see Alec.
It's a great late round.
He is. I didn't see Alec Pierce. There's no. Oh, there he is. Okay, I'm gonna go running back here. And let's go. You know what? I'll go Ramondre too.
He broke out later in the year. It took him a little bit to get going, but he broke out later.
And I'm not mad with my running back spot. So okay, let's go wide receiver here. We're in round 7, or we're in round 8. Ooh. Michael Wilson.
Michael Wilson. Is that what you're gonna do?
If Marv gets hurt a decent amount, and that's what made him explode. But no, I'm gonna go Alec Pierce. He's wide receiver 1 down there.
I think that was the right choice.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta not listen to your heart. Let's go. What else do I need to fill in here? What are we looking at right now? Oh, all. Can we go to the running backs? Okay. I don't hate Blake Corum here. Because if Kyron Williams gets hurt, he's going to be that guy. Because this is the point. Ooh, Rachaad White, though. You know what? I'm going to go Blake Corum here. Because this is the point in the draft where you're drafting backups. And you're going to have to think about the person playing in front of them and getting hurt. Yeah, wide receivers. Okay. I'm going to go... Ooh.
I like Casey Conception. I just didn't like the injury that I saw. The
Yeah,
other day.
yeah.
That really turned me
Poor
off.
guy. Like,
Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but he was kind of hot mic'd, and he's like, "Get the fucking quarterback."
Oh, yeah,
out
yeah,
of here."
yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that dude threw him into the morgue.
Yeah. Khalil Shakir's That's a.
I do like Shakir. Debo. No. Can we scroll back up, please? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Xavier Worthy here. Deep threat.
Risk.
Yeah, deep threat. Going into year 2, I believe. Year 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can we scroll down so I could look at my team overall? Okay. Okay. Let's go to the running backs again. Tyler Algier could be a goal line guy. I hope, just for my sake, he's not. Give Jeremiah Love all the touches. Tank Bigsby isn't bad in Philly. But I need at least one Arizona guy, right? We'll go Tyler Algier.
I think that's a good pick.
Okay. Can we just go to all? Let's see. Matthew Golden's really sticking around. I'm gonna go Romeo Dubs here. All right. Can we go to the defense? So you went the Rams, correct?
I did. Mm-hmm.
They've had some great additions, and the thing about Seattle is Mike McDonald is an elite defensive mind, and they have good players there, but they've had some mass exodus a little bit from their secondary.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So I'm actually going to agree with you. I will also go the Rams here. You got Trent McDuffie, Myles Garrett now. Kicker. I think this is the same exact lineup. Just for the sake of like overall, yeah, I will go. Yeah. I can't even read.
I know, I can't read
Is
it.
his name Cairo? Last pick. This is gonna be a fun one. Debo again, man. We scroll down just a little bit.
I'll tell you that in other drafts, Debo's not going to be hanging around there.
No, absolutely not.
Dang, I should have reached
Tank
for
Bigsy's still
Stribling.
there.
I think Stribling is a great pick. He's having a great
I
camp
think,
right now.
You know what? I will adhere to your judgment here. I will go DeJohn Stribling here. He was a bit lower. Yes. B+.
B+, all right.
So we both got B pluses, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Now I didn't get any A's.
Yeah, Jared had a better individual rating.
Yeah, you had like a bit more of a top heavy score because you had 2 A's and 2 C's, correct? Mine was just more consistent.
Now, I'm going to have to remember this. It says biggest reach was Stribling, but I really think that that's a good sleeper pick. I think he's going to have
I
a
think
good
so
season.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and also, why is the biggest reach coming in the 15th round?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
give me
Well, they did the same thing for me too. I took Debo, and it was like,
Yeah,
okay, well,
you're-
Debo has the highest ADP here. How are you
you're-
going to tell me that that's the biggest reach?
you're already scraping the bottom of the barrel at this
Right.
point. Like, who cares? Biggest reach at 15.
Now, something you asked me, you were asking me why I didn't take a second quarterback. Now, in a dynasty, I will be.
Yeah.
I will be. I may even like load up a little
Mhm.
bit. I may go to 3
Do you think?
because I want that super flex.
I was
spot.
gonna say, yeah. Do
too.
you think you're going to fill that super flex with a quarterback?
Yeah,
and-
100%.
Oh my! Could you imagine like Josh Allen and Lamar?
That's
for
what
your
I'm-
starting
that's-
lineup.
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
ooh,
thinking, like-
ooh boy.
You got to get him.
Yeah, but that was fun. I've been running a lot of mock drafts like with Ryan at work. We've been doing it a lot, so I'm
I wonder
definitely.
if is there like a way that we could run a dynasty mock draft? I'm gonna have to look into
I'm sure
that.
you might have. Yeah,
I'll have to
like
look into
there
that.
might be something out there for that.
Sure.
But I am definitely way more well versed coming into fantasy this year than I was last year because my luck will not be like how it was last year.
Nice. That means Miles is gonna tank this year.
No, maybe I tank in the dynasty, but no, not this year. I
You gotta
want that.
intentionally tank in the dynasty so you get the first pick next
Yeah,
year.
exactly. So, this year we're doing a higher buy-in, $30. I want that money. So
$30.
Yeah, I'm taking this serious.
That's funny. All right. Well, let's move on from our fantasy segment and let's
Mhm.
move into predictions. We can kind of rapid fire this off. So we've
Yeah.
got 3 days worth of games this weekend, all preseason, right?
Mhm.
Preseason week 1. We've got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So tomorrow's games, Lions, Bengals. Miles, what are you going to do?
I'll go Lions.
I'm also taking the Lions.
Okay,
Packers, Steelers.
let's go Steel City.
You're on Steel City? All right. I'm going to go with the Packers.
Okay,
All right. Colts, Patriots.
Colts.
You're going to take the Colts. I'm going to take the Patriots. Chargers, Texans.
Texans.
Take the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
Okay.
Cardinals, Raiders.
Don't even ask me that question. You know the answer.
I'm taking the Raiders.
Okay, that's mean. Titans 49ers.
You already know. You already know.
You already know Titans.
Titans all the way.
Yeah, John,
All
you
right.
slick, Rick.
On to Friday, we got
Yes.
Bucks, Jets.
Let's take the Jets. Let's get crazy.
You're going with the Jets?
Yeah.
All right, I'm taking the Bucks. Dolphins, Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah, go Commanders. All right. Broncos, Falcons.
Let's go Broncos.
I'm taking the Falcons. I'm telling you, I'm a little bit of a Falcons believer this season.
Okay.
All right, that concludes Friday. Let's move on to Saturday. So Vikings, Giants.
Vikings.
Really? I'm going Giants, man.
McCarthy is going to throw some piss missiles out there.
I think he's gonna play like shit because he's gonna be pissed that he's the number 2. All right, Panthers, Bills.
Panthers.
Panthers, really?
King looked so good
He
last
did.
week.
I'm taking the Bills though.
Is that a home game for the Bills?
Probably.
I think it is.
Yeah.
They're going to be playing
In the new stadium. And actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's like kind of a superstition around brand new stadiums where teams that get new stadiums usually shit the bed.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
away.
Actually,
Yeah.
They could completely shit the bed, but again, this is preseason, right? These are all backups that are playing.
Yeah.
All right, Browns, Bears.
Browns.
I'm also taking the Browns. I think the Browns are going to get that one. Okay, Jags, Saints.
I'll go Jags.
I'm taking the Saints.
Okay.
Rams, Chiefs. Stenson Bennett or Justin Fields.
Rams.
Take the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
attaboy.
I'm going to take the Chiefs. Eagles, Ravens.
Philly. I'll go Eagles.
All right, I'll go with you. I'll take the Eagles. Cowboys, Seahawks.
Jalen Milrow or / Drew Lock. I'll go Seahawks
Seahawks. I'm also going to take the Hawks.
because they're playing Trey Lance probably down at. Oh no, I'm sorry, he's not in Dallas anymore. He's in Los Angeles.
Yes, he is.
Okay,
All right.
now
We powered through that. Fourth quarter question of the week. It is time, and
Yes.
Ethan had a couple great questions for us.
he did.
So, Miles, why don't you fire them up?
Oh, we
Fire
want to
them
do all of them.
Well, I mean, whatever you want.
Okay.
You're the man with the questions in hand. So
Okay.
You decide.
So we got 3 of them. And one of them we kind of answered last week, but we can rehash that. With the Vikings announcing, shout out Ethan, by the way, with the Vikings announcing Kyler Murray as the starter, do you guys think he will play as good or better than when he was with the Cardinals? Kind of surprised he didn't throw in like worse in there. I think you know where I stand with this.
I think he's going to play better. He's in a better system with better weapons.
Yeah.
And that system has made shitty quarterbacks look good before.
Yes.
I think that they've got a good run game over
Mhm.
there, and I think Kyler is going to have some kind of success. I still think that they're probably the 4th best team in that division.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a tough division.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough division, and
That'll be competitive.
I think that they made the right choice by making Kyler the starter.
Yes. Bingo, bango, bongo. Who is your guys' pick for Rookie of the Year? You know my answer. Now,
Defensive or offensive? Are we talking about offensive rookie of the year?
let's start with offensive. Jeremiah Love, and tell me why.
I do think that Jeremiah Love could be offensive rookie of the year.
Mhm.
It's very possible. I also think, and you may laugh at me about this, but if the Cardinals really start to play well, it could also be Carson Beck.
It could be because
that
these
actually
awards
could be
these awards skew towards the quarterbacks.
totally, yeah, totally. I don't think that would be a terrible pick. I'm trying to think of who else. There could be a wide receiver out there. Carnell Tate could have a really good
could.
season.
He could.
If the Titans, Cam Ward kind of starts to put it together, and Robert
Mhm.
Saleh does some good things. They've got Brian Dable over there at offensive coordinator, so they
Mhm.
could make Tate look pretty good.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's really open right now.
Mhm.
I think it's too soon to tell until we get these guys out on the field. Give us a couple weeks, and then we'll be
Yeah.
able to answer that a little bit better.
Yeah. It definitely won't be Fernando Mendoza if
I
Kirk's going to be playing most of
Yeah,
the year.
I
So,
don't- I don't think
you
so
can
either.
Pack your bags on that.
I also don't. I know you said Jeremiah Love, but running backs, that's a tough position to get rookie of the year at.
You know what? It's really going to boil down to scrimmage yards and touchdowns.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean it's all going to be dependent on touches.
Yeah.
So how much are they going to feed him?
Right.
And how much of that is Tyler Algier going to get? I mean, they gave him the contract, so
what's that split going to look like? And then for defensive, I'm going to say it's either going to be David Bailey or Caleb Downs.
And Caleb Downs is a good choice. I think the Browns did a good job. Could be one of their rookie defenders over there. The names are eluding me at the moment, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah. Definitely not Arvell Reese. Don't bet your money on that.
Yeah.
In your opinions, who is the best sleeper pick in fantasy this year?
Best sleeper pick in fantasy. I think Romeo Doubs is obviously up there. If he can stay healthy, I think Deebo Samuel's not a bad one. I mean, we just saw, right, like even in the simulation, like he was taken really, really late. So I think that that's a possibility. Wan'Dale Robinson, I think, is a great sleeper pick. I think Cardinal Tate's probably gonna get a lot of coverage, and so that could be an issue over there. Aside from that, I don't think that there's going to be any running backs out there that are really going to be like big sleeper picks. It's usually typically when we're talking about sleepers, it's going to be wide receivers, and it looks like our live has ended
on TikTok. But we're kind of coming up on it anyway, so
that's okay. That's what I would say. What else you got?
That was it. So those were the three questions.
Did you have any sleepers that you wanted to?
I've talked about Alec Pierce a lot. I'm going to go tight end here. Tucker Kraft was playing really well last year before he tore his ACL. Now, what is that going to look like after his recovery? That's all going to be wait to be seen. But Sam Laporta, I think, could have a bit of a resurgence this year, especially with Drew Petzing coming over, who made Trey McBride's career. That is a very tight end centric offense. Now, obviously, you got Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams there too, but he also had Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr., who, didn't. His offense isn't very wide receiver centric. So I think Sam Laporta, especially seeing some of these mock drafts, how far he's falling, that could be a sleeper.
I wonder, what do you think about like Spencer Rattler? Or a Saints quarterback,
like a Tyler Shuck, because I think he's taking those reps right now.
It's gonna start, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, what about? I was just thinking Saints quarterbacks. Like both of them had very interesting seasons last year, and I think that the Saints offense is on the rise a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe Browns quarterbacks. Not Deshaun Watson. He's fast asleep.
We'll have to see, man. That's such an interesting situation over there. We don't have time for that today, but we should definitely get into a couple of these quarterback rooms and really start to dissect some of them, because I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
But guys, I think that pretty much wraps up our show. John, did you have anything else?
I did. Yeah. There's some interesting stuff going on across the seas, and I know we do these pretty sparsely, but I have a little spotlight I'd like to throw on somebody who maybe is not getting as much recognition as they deserve. So I'm going to bring it over here. This is Alex Ayala. She just won the first WTA title for the Philippines a couple weeks ago. And the reason that this is significant is because the Philippines have never produced a tennis superstar before. So this is a really big thing for Filipinos and the Philippines as a nation just in general. She's 21 years old and kind of came in as, I guess you could say, like a dark horse, or really just like an underdog. But she took the championship and is currently playing. She just played pretty well over. This was the stats for the WTA, so she really only lost like one game and pretty much crushed the rest of the series. And right now is seated in, I think, number 11th. Number 11 for the Cincinnati Open, which will be taking place this weekend. So pretty big news for not just the world of tennis, but Filipino sports in general. Not usually a nation that produces a lot of notable superstars across really any sports in general. So big shout out to Alex Ayala. If you guys are ever, if tennis is something that you are interested in, even peripherally, take a look at one of the games going on this weekend. She seems like a really nice person, and I just wanted to give out some kudos to her and some congrats to the Filipino fans out there. I'm sure they're really excited to see somebody out there crushing and representing their country for the first time ever, really.
Yeah, good for her, man. And when you said earlier that like they've never produced like a homegrown, like somebody who was born and raised in the Philippines, but like they've had players before who are Filipino but weren't from the country who's played for them, is that what you're kind of alluding to? Or
No, this is the first time.
Any person of Filipino descent has
Any person, yeah, born and raised, maybe not Filipino descent, but born and raised in the Philippines, representing the Philippines, has ever won a title championship.
very
good
cool.
for her, man. And that's really
very
cool for the country. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Good shout out, John. I mean, you and I really aren't like the biggest tennis people.
No, but
So,
we
like-
knew a lot of. Well, we know a lot of people that are.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We surely do. So I'm sure like some of the people at my work
Mhm.
know all about this, and we're just now hearing about it. So,
Yeah,
John,
right
thank
on.
you for educating us on the world of
Absolutely.
tennis.
Yeah, guys. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up our show. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and remember, just because you couldn't see the game doesn't mean you weren't there. And we'll see you next week.